All right. So I got a couple of videos sent to me, and I always get these. I haven't done reactions in quite some time, but we're gonna get into it tonight. It's been, I don't know, it's been at least 2 years since I've done some reactions, but there's some good ones. So let's go ahead. Let's just start. Let me open up the chat here. Matter of fact, let me know if you guys can see the chat. Put I down in the chat if you guys can see the chat. We're gonna go ahead and get started. I have seen these, but I gotta admit, with my ADHD, I don't forgot everything. So it's gonna be like we seeing it for the very first time together. But let's go ahead and get into it. Matter of fact, let me go ahead and minimize this. This was, I kind of remember this was a video about what men want. And I'm always intrigued what men want from a woman's perspective, because it's just like, me speaking, I'm always curious, like, who has this woman been listening to? But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's see what she has to say.
A man knows that you don't respect him because there's no peace in the relationship. You think that he's not loving, not pleasant, not kind, not giving. No, he is reacting to the disrespect. We all know that men would rather be respected than loved. And to a man, love without respect is straight up fake. When you respect him, he thrives. When you speak into him, trust his decisions, acknowledge his effort, he will love you endlessly. When he feels disrespected, he shuts down, he pulls back his kindness, he is not pleasant, and he will not give you the best of him. So if your man is moving wild right now and the relationship feels cold and there's no peace, check the respect first. That's because he knows that you don't respect him. And when a man feels that way, the love doesn't matter anymore. Women stay for love and men stay for respect. So if you want his love, start with respect.
Ooh. I'm curious what y'all think down in the comments. Now I'm a contrarian, but honestly, I ain't hear nothing that she said wrong. Even the Bible says, husbands, love your wives, wives, respect your husbands. I think it's more so, it's both saying love. It's just saying like what resonates with us the most. So she's definitely not wrong. Respect. Respect is something I think every man is striving for within himself. I think women are striving for love and men are striving for respect. We want to be the version of ourselves we can admire. We want to feel like we're contributing. All of these things garner respect. Whereas for a woman, it's more so about being cherished and appreciated. So yeah, I'll just speak for myself. And this might be a version of me y'all ain't really used to. I'm going to speak just as real as I know how to speak. Okay. I'm not here necessarily to encourage or, uplift. I'm just going to keep it all the way real. In previous relationships, I've felt the least loved when I was really the least respected. And this is why I always say, don't deal with no dude who's not where he want to be in life. Because one, he don't respect himself. Two, he don't feel respected by the world. And that's something he may, like both of those things, he may project onto you. Thirdly, he's not going to be his best self or the most respectable. Like, I don't even think it's a woman's fault necessarily. If the man ain't giving her something to respect, how can he get mad that he's not garnering that? Now, I don't think respect should be just about money or just about paying bills. But whatever it is, I think before you go and you be with a man, especially if he ain't his best self, there's a few things you want to get clear, because you may have a certain level of love for him that don't come across because he's not yet the most respectable version of him. Then two, like, you need to know, how much do you respect yourself? You got goals, you got ambitions, you want to make it, you want to make $1 million. Okay, great. But where you are currently, do you even respect yourself? Because if you don't, you're not going to be able to receive my respect. It's just like as a man, when we trying to tell y'all you beautiful, but if you don't believe that, guess what? It don't matter. Same thing goes for a man's respect. So for what she's saying, I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10 what she's saying, because she's really correct. But the only thing I would say was wrong in a sense is that you can have all the respect for a man, show all the respect for a man, but it ain't about what you show. It's about what he's in position to receive. What can that man receive? That's what really matters. So you want to self-respect the man. If he's always in awe of a man that got money he ain't got, or he talked down about himself, please stop trying to rescue these men from their low self-esteem. It's not gonna work out for you. And I'm from the school of, hey man, be with me while I'm getting myself together, but I gotta first be a version of myself I respect.
Okay, to tell a girl.
Hold on, wait, let's start this one over. Let's start this one over. Matter of fact, before we move on to this one, because I honestly cannot remember what the next one was about, I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down in the comments. What do you guys think about that? She basically said a man will leave you if you don't show him respect. I absolutely agree, except I've seen situations where a woman respects a man, but because he don't respect himself, it doesn't align with his core belief. And therefore, it don't matter that she's respectful to him. He's still going to dog her out. He's still going to lead to another chick as soon as he get up on his feet, because the entire relationship, it felt to him like he wasn't getting no respect, but he was. Or he think he deserved more respect than what he actually wants. And that's just what it is. It ain't you a disrespectful chick. You got a certain value on your respect, and he ain't quite met that value. But what y'all think? Okay. So y'all feel me what I'm saying? All right. Now, let's move on to the next one. And again, I've skimmed these, but I genuinely cannot remember what any of these were about. I'm going to go through a couple viral videos, and I just want to hear y'all thoughts. So as she's speaking, feel free to chime in with your thoughts.
My husband thinks it's okay to tell a girl working in the grocery store, if I hit the jackpot, I'm going to come back and retire you. That don't give, nigga, you in love with me and I'm in love with you too. It does.
No. Hold on, we gotta start.
My husband thinks it's okay to tell a girl working in the grocery store.
So they in the grocery store. It sounds like they're together because they both in the car.
If I hit the jackpot, I'm gonna come back and retire you.
So he told the girl in the store he gonna come back and retire her if he hit the jackpot. So he's playing the lotto. They in the store. They both of them go to the store, and he tells the cashier lady, if I hit this jackpot, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna retire you. He doesn't deny it.
That don't give, nigga, you in love with me and I'm in love with you too. It does.
All right. I could be out the loop. Y'all let me know down in the comments. I could be out the loop. Is this like an old saying? I don't play the lotto. So somebody help me understand. Is this like an old saying? Is this like a traditional thing? Now, this is TikTok. So it could be just for, going viral or something like that. But as I'm looking at it, it sounds like he tripping. Because why would you not read the room? Especially if you with your wife. Let's just try to give benefit of the doubt. This is an innocent situation. And this is a 90-year-old woman, and he thought it was cool. She said girl, so I'm gonna presume this ain't a 90-year-old woman. Two, let's say it is tradition. Brother, think about vice versa. If it was tradition and your woman was working as a cashier, and the dude said, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna retire you, you'll be ready to throw them hands. Now, I'm not one to just bash the man, but I'm just gonna keep it all the way real. Of course, that girl ready to move some furniture. And by move furniture, I mean kick you out the house, move the furniture until you can't get out the house, and you can't get in the house, and whatever you brought in is what you brought in. Y'all let me know. I had to hear it again and again, but I'm like, I don't know if that's normal. I want to give benefit of the doubt. It's some type of tradition, and he just said it. I don't know. Maybe I'm just out the loop of lotto players. Somebody tell me. I may be missing it, but somebody tell me. Man, let's just go to move on, because that one.
See, my problem is I'm educated, but
hold on. Sometimes they come in hot. Let's start this one over. All right, this one is a little bit lengthy, so we're gonna stick with it. This one's a little bit lengthy. We're gonna stick with it. I want to skip past the last one because honestly, I feel like he just playing with his life. But I when it's marriages, when it's married couples and they humor together, I just give benefit of the doubt. They got something I don't really understand. Everything got to be perfect. But good luck, brother. All right, let's see what she has to say.
See, my problem is I'm educated, but I don't want none of those things that those other women be talking about when it comes to a man. I don't want no real man. I don't. I want a man with a little prejudice and a little gender bias. I want a man who his idea of coming home and relaxing is, he done just got off work. He done had a long day. He finna come home, take his shoes off, take a shower, come rest up. He looking for his plate, and he want to sit down and drink a beer and watch the game, catch up on the news, or actually play the game. That's my idea of a man who want to go sit in the man cave. And, he ain't really on the phone. He ain't talking to nobody too much. Everybody calling him. He just got to answer the phone. He taking time out with his friends and he already know I'm not gonna argue with him about whether or not I need to put on some clothes because this is my house, and whether or not he need to be able to go out with his friends and talk, or whether they can come in the house and I go into the other room. He ain't rationalizing and reasoning with women all the time. He heard what I said. He ain't give a damn about what I said. He wasn't trying to argue with me about what I said because he don't give a really damn about what I said because I'm just a woman.
Hold on. I was with her up until that last part. But I kind of get what she's saying. Let me not pick apart her words. It sounds like she's saying, in contradiction to all of the new school, new age dudes is going back and forth, and women that think it's cool to go back and forth. There was a time and day where men didn't argue with women. Now, when she said just a woman, I want to pause that because I feel like that's kind of degrading just a tad bit. But I do agree with we need to get out. I don't know where dudes come from these days arguing with women. And it's not because you're just a woman. It's just like, what are we arguing about? What are we arguing about? Like, if you disagree with me, I disagree with you. The only next step from this is to establish middle ground, not to keep arguing back and forth and push and put, because you're not going to change how you feel. I'm not going to change how I feel. Now, to men, I don't even know about arguing, but it makes more sense because it might just be something where we ain't trying to establish no middle ground. I feel how I feel, you feel how you feel, and we're going to take it where it need to go. But if you're talking about a man and a woman, it's like, all right, we're not here to clash with each other. That's the whole point of not arguing with a woman. I think it comes from like a chauvinistic place. We're not here to clash with each other. I need you as my teammate. I don't need stress and war. I'll go to war out there. That's what an argument is. An argument is war. I want to beat you down and establish I'm right over you. But if we are a team, hold on, you my partner. What are we doing? We in a burning building. We ain't about to stop and just argue. I want to take a left. You want to take a right. So we're going to sit here and just battle it out? No. Okay, is there another way you want to go? Like, that's all we doing is moving through the progression because it's me and you versus the issue. That's my whole take on. I mean, I got to hear out what the rest she got to say. But that's my belief when it comes to arguing with a woman. I'm not about to argue with a woman because where are we going to escalate this to? If I just feel how I feel, you feel how you feel. Let's say worst case, I'm just going to sit here and just say, well, I'm the man. All right, it don't change how you feel. Ladies, y'all let me know down in the comments. You ever been arguing with a man and he basically just like beat his chest and that changed how you felt at your heart? Can somebody let me know? I ain't never seen it in my life. I've seen dudes get peace. They think it's peace, it's quiet. But that woman does not change how she felt. She might be quiet, but she might be planning her exit. She might be quiet, but she gonna figure out a way to do what she wants to do. She just letting you talk just because that make you feel better. I've never seen nobody win an argument with a woman and it actually was the win that they thought it was, as in terms of what she's talking about. But I do agree. Let's just say we don't pick apart her wording and we just give her the benefit of the doubt that she just said, I'm just a woman. But I'm not even going to just come. I just can't rock with that part of it. But I do like where she's headed. Let's keep going.
You get what I'm saying? I'm probably on my period. He don't know. I probably had a bad day. My mama probably made me mad. That's the type of man I want. So when I be listening to y'all say what type of man y'all want, I don't ever impose that on y'all. But y'all ask for bitches because you're looking for bitches because you're sitting there talking about what a real man is, and a woman ain't supposed to define a man. And women ain't comfortable with that. I am. So when I think of a man and the shit he's supposed to do, I want a man that know how to outsource his resources and know how to use himself before he start using his money. That's the type of man I think of. I'm just a Southern woman. So that, I want a man who go to God and know he in trouble. He always been praying, but he might not go to church, but he know that Bible. That's the type of man I want. The one who still call his mama and check up on her and put money in her mailbox. The one who still call his grandma just in case she alive or go in and check in with his elders around the neighborhood. That's the type of man I want. I don't want that shit y'all dealing with, niggas in skinny jeans and fucking big ass shoes. I want a regular, standard man's man. I don't just want no man's man. I want a man who, when it's time for him to go and pay bills, he done paid all of his fucking bills before he decide to do anything fun. He frugal. He ain't cheap. He just frugal. He watches motherfucking money. But when you get in his truck, he always got change in the fucking compartment. Some of y'all can't resonate with this, and I completely understand. But I would never resonate with the type of man y'all want. Because the shit that y'all be asking for, you're calling them sassy because you asking for a bitch.
Okay, she got a mouth on her. Look, sister, I like what you're saying. I'm from the South. I was raised in Alabama, but for you to want a man and you want to be such a lady, ooh, that language. And I'm a person, hey, I cuss. I'm not here. I'm not holier than thou. But sheesh, you emphasizing stuff with F-bombs that don't even need emphasis. You said the F-bomb just to say change in the caddy. Like, why did that need the emphasis? Are you just passionate about this?
I want a man who tender on me and hard on a hoe. I want a man who tender on me, but when them kids walk in the house, he's strict on everybody. Girl, boy, just alike. Need all that. I need a man who chastised me when I put a little weave on, a little makeup, because that's how my daddy was. Now, am I going to listen? Debatable. But do I want it? Hell yeah. I want a man when I get ready to walk out of the house, he know I'm going somewhere with my women. He's sending me a little extra money.
I'm sorry. All right. Look, I like what she's saying. I'm tired of hearing it. I don't know if I can break up with somebody I'm not even with, but Jesus Christ. Now I'm messing with she like this kind of traditional man, and I guess she gonna give him traditional stress because boy, but I feel what she's saying. Forget all this new age stuff, dudes out here being quote unquote sassy, or women calling men sassy just for, having standards. I'm curious what y'all think. Do y'all agree or disagree with what she was saying? She want an old school, traditional type of man. It sounds like she want an Earl born in 1955. Like she want an old school man. And I can rock with it, man. I think there's a healthy balance of each one. I believe in the evolved man myself. I believe there's a tradition, and then there's the evolution of emotional intelligence. No, you're not just a woman. If you are on your period or whatever, maybe that's a call for me to be a bit more supportive in this time, because the moment we going through some stuff, we want y'all to be supportive. The moment our money ain't right, we want y'all to be a little gentle with us, right? The moment that parlay ain't hit, the moment the car been breaking down, we got some new bills we ain't expect, and them pockets is a little low. We want y'all to be gentle with us. We want back rubs. We want your voice to be a little bit more kind. We want you to predict our needs, have the food ready, all these things whenever we going through, I go through. So it ain't the monthly go through y'all got. It ain't, your emotions are high, but I don't know. You on your period or not, that don't just invalidate everything that you said. But look, truthfully speaking, I like what she said. I'm just good on the, language. I'm like, what are you talking about?
It's the men in my comments saying if we focus on our...
Hold on. Let's start this over. Y'all have some grace with me. I'm figuring this thing out. This is fun. Yeah, her voice was just very, it's an acquired taste. Let's move on, though. Let's see. What is she talking about? Hold on. Why women no longer want kids and a family. Like I said, I do not remember what this video was about, so we about to watch it together for the first time. Boy, oh boy.
It's the men in my comments saying if we focus on ourselves in our 20s, nobody's going to want us because we're going to be too old. The gag is we don't want y'all no more. That's the point of the video. That old school saying applied when y'all were providers, okay? We were taught at a young age to secure a family and a husband for stability only. Please don't think women's primary goal is to have a man and have a family. That is back in the day when you guys were head of household. However, now we are head of household. And to be honest, y'all not too fun to be around. Y'all not that cute or aesthetically pleasing. As women, we are the financial stability. That's why we're not too pressed on being with men right now and having kids. How would that benefit us?
Hold on, before we go any further, so far, where y'all at on what she said? We got a little bit longer to go. Where are you guys at? I want to know where you're at. Comment down below. We're going to keep it plain though, but I'm curious.
Anything, we're going to take on more responsibility in the household, and we also are going to have to take time off to bear children. So until y'all go back to being the providers, I guarantee you, y'all are not on our priority list. Until y'all able to take care of y'allselves and the family, leave us alone, because we irritated.
Well, I guess she said that. Guess she told us. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? essentially what I got from it was back in the day, women wanted men in a family, right? Kids and men, husband, family. But that's whenever a man was a provider. What do y'all feel about what she said? Because today's women are now their own providers. So it's not like y'all are just waiting with bated breath, holding your breath, waiting for a man to come along to help you have some kids. Teresa says, I'm single. I'm a single woman and I don't feel that way at all. Elise says, I agree. Well, I'm gonna say this. Again, I'm not here to encourage, inspire, motivate. I'm just here to keep it all the way 100 with you. I understand what she's saying, but she's setting herself up for failure if she gets with a man who is a provider. Because I'm gonna tell you, as a provider, in the back of our minds is what happens if I lose this money? What happens? I'm a provider, right? So yeah, you want me to be your man, your husband, and for us to have kids. Great. But what happens if I lose my money? I don't work a job. I'm an entrepreneur. But what happens if I don't get this money? What happens if my tax bill is bigger or, something happens where I can't hold it down? And I do need you to be the provider while I try to figure something else out. What happens if that goes down? Is how you look at me going to change? So I think she's setting herself up for failure in a sense that, and I'm not here to say whether or not you, as a woman, you agree with her that you're wrong, but I'm going to keep it real with you. It's like, if I get with you on that level, I'm going to be at a loss, or I'm going to be jeopardized the moment the money ain't perfect. So I might as well just put you in this category, which is either I don't rock with you or I'm going to get something physical out you. I either don't rock with you or I'm going to get something physical out you. Now, I'm not saying it's right. I'm going to just tell you what it is. Because when a man meets a woman, there's in every man, there's that dog and there's that king that exists. Those of us who care, we strive to be the king, but guess what? Even the Bible says you have to die to your flesh daily, meaning that dog don't go away. You just don't tap into it. You just keep it tamed. You keep it domesticated because it'll ruin your life. Any man that's got himself together and he's disciplined, he didn't come out the womb that way. He had to domesticate himself. I know I had to. It's no secret I had to. So with that being said, whenever you talk to a man, there's two ways it can go in his mind. Hold on, is she better suited for that dog that I could let out, or is she suited for the king in me? Is she suited for that? So as a woman now, you should just focus on being you, and who's for you is for you. But I'm saying if she holds true to those thoughts, those values, that we don't want you if you're not a provider, because that's honestly it. Maybe it's my mansplaining, but that's what I heard. If that's how she feels, she's going to weed out the men who want to feel safe and secure, even if they can't financially provide. Now, with that being said, I absolutely agree that as men, if that's all we're bringing is provision, then yeah, you don't got no room for error. This is why I say as men, you need to have more than just your money. You need to show up as a provider and a protector way outside of just money and physical protection. Do you provide safety? Do you provide expectation of her needs? Do you provide consistency? Do you provide direction? Have you learned anything that even if you weren't making all this money, have you learned anything that you could expose her to or speak to her on that's going to help her see the world in a greater, bigger perspective? Can you help her see more of herself than what she could whenever she was single? Do you have the emotional intelligence to bring her out of certain emotional spaces she don't want to be in? Can you provide that? Can you protect her from her overthinking by peeping when she needs reassurance? That's my whole mantra. If you watch my content, I'm always speaking to the man to go to a different level outside of the traditional protect and provide. Because what happens, bro, like if your money ain't right, I done had millions and I done been negative tens of thousands of dollars. I done went up, I done went down, I done went up again. Thank God. But I'm very aware I can't let money make me, because the money still go up and down. It can still go down at any moment. God with billions of dollars go bankrupt. Men with billions. I'm over here playing my little seven figures and think I'm about to be over here safe and secure. So I hear what the sister is saying, especially toward the rude dude. It's like, oh, you ladies ain't gonna have, y'all gonna die alone. It's like, well, maybe being alone is much better than feeling like you dying inside every day because you with a man who makes you feel like you're alone, even though you're not. So on that end, I'm gonna give her take a 5 out of 10. She halfway there, but on the other half, I hope that she reconsiders her stance on a provider, or at least is able to just add context when she's actually dealing with a man that's family oriented, that's a husband. Because the real husband that you want, he can't just be a provider. It can't just be if he's a provider, he's good. And if he ain't a provider financially, then he's no good. If you are the breadwinner as a woman, I would hope that your man is still able to and capable of providing and protecting way outside of just financial provision. That's my hope. That's my hope, because you're not going to be happy with that man any other way. Let's go to another one, though. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Or
I'm not gonna lie to y'all. When you start intentionally dating, the men who are also intentionally dating are strict, baby. Don't think you the only one coming with what you're not going for, your deal breakers, because they are on the same tip. Ladies, be ready. Be ready. I'm dating this guy, like, he does not play that aggressive stuff, like arguing or like, you know how you were when you were younger, a little crash out. He don't play crash out. Crash out, you're out. I gotta make sure I tell you that.
Hey, I'm curious what y'all think about that. What do y'all think about what she just said? When you're dealing with a man, let me put it back up here. When you're dealing with a man who is intentional, he's strict. Has that been y'all experience? Put down in the comments yes or no. Has that been y'all's experience? You dealing with a man who's strict, who's intentional, and he happens to be strict as well? I'm gonna tell you, this is me just as a man. I'm gonna say, hell yeah. When a man cares, when a man gonna invest in you, when a man gonna put real time, energy, money behind you, and introduce you to his mama, and try to have children with you, and hope that his baby girl model herself after you, and yeah. You don't care if you just gonna be in and out. You don't care if it's bam, 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 thank you, ma'am, or whatever the same. You don't care. You care if you're gonna spend some real time, put your name on this woman. You're gonna put your mental health at her mercy. You're gonna really have this woman involved in your life. Yes, intentionally dating men are strict. Kay, you said it's the standards. That's all it is. And matter of fact, I used to say this all the time. Like, a lot of women, like, my man let me do whatever I want to do. Sister, that is not a flex. If that man, quote unquote, lets you do whatever you want to do in the context of he ain't got nothing to say, he don't care, he ain't got no opinion about it, that's because that man don't care nothing about you. There are certain things that man is not going to let you do if he cares about you. Let me say this again. There are certain things that man is not going to let you do. When you come across a man and he said, I don't know how I feel about that. Did you have to post that? That's what you're wearing? We talking right now, but I feel like your voice is kind of like, it's elevating a little bit. That is a man who is saying, I'm intending for the space that we share to be something long-term. So I need this to be something I'm comfortable in long-term. When that man lets you just call him anything, do whatever, hang out to whenever, get drunk on whatever side of town, or you do get drunk and he don't care nothing about it, he ain't got nothing to say about it, that man don't care about you. That man don't care about. Now there is a line to draw with that. If that man is controlling, if he is abusive, if he's insulting, if he can't say nothing with no respect, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about that. I'm talking about the man that says, hey, there's a right and a wrong way to do things. Like, if we need to get this understood. That's the man who has prepared himself for something long term. That's the man who has established these boundaries because he's worked on himself. I'm gonna tell you, from my own personal experience, me and then guys that I've come into circles with, it's like when you go to the therapy, when you go talk to the lady, that's what you come up with. That's actually a sign that the man has done some real internal work. When he don't let you just talk any kind of way, when he does communicate in a respectful way, assertive way, what it is that he's comfortable with and what it is that he's not. That's a great sign. He's not crashing out on you, cussing you out, calling you a name, accusing you for stuff you never did. He's able to communicate and say, hey, this is what we can do and this is what we can't do. That man said that's a man who's trying to build something that's going to rely on you in order to stand. Does that make sense to anybody? Being said I look like AI, I guess I don't know. Is that a compliment? Do I look like AI? Is that a compliment? But no, for real. Does that make sense to anybody? Because I know that is not what younger girls I've found actually want to hear, and I don't care. If that man just let you do whatever, run all over him, talk crazy, man, that dude is planning his exit. He already know. He just waiting for the girl that he really want to come back into the picture to stop trying with the man that she replaced him with. That's all he waiting for. Say something on my eye. Right here. Thank you. Good looking out, Mitch. Thank you, Mitch. I feel like we family. Y'all telling me something in my eye and everything. I like that. Get me right. Let me see here. Let's go to another one.
I just dated somebody for 5 years.
Hold on. She coming in kind of hot. Wait. Shift gears. She's got a lot of emotion. She says, if you are, let me move myself out. She says, if you are young, leave early, love yourself more, or you won't recognize yourself anymore. Jesus Christ. All right, she coming in hot. Hey, Kilsu, welcome. We're doing viral reactions. Well, reactions to viral relationship themed videos. I don't really got a title for this. I'm just doing stuff. But no, seriously. I don't remember this one. Now, again, my ADHD, I just kind of forget. But she's got a lot of emotion. Let's see what she's saying, though. Let me put myself back in here.
They told me they couldn't post me. I just dated somebody for 5 years. They told me they couldn't post me because they didn't have enough money. Even though I know that's not true, you just don't find me attractive to society. Cool. But 5 years, I asked them to call off work, and they would not call off work. They picked up shifts. Not only that, I have not seen this person in 2 days. And they took my house key. And also, when I look on their page, they're posting pictures of girls. And like they're single, but I'm washing your clothes out on hand. Larry Merriweather, and now I'm making a video and I have to go to work. And do not, young girls, be single. Okay, be single.
All right. Y'all tell me your thoughts on that. I'm a little confused, and I'm confused. First off, I'm saying this with love. If the sister happens to watch this at some point, there's a lot of emotion here. I gotta just side note this. I wish we didn't go to the internet when we're like in emotional crash out space, because I just don't think this is the safest space. And even me talking about this, I hope I can say this as safely as possible, but I'm pretty sure I'm not. Because 5 years dating? 5 years, first off. I'm just going to take a wild guess. And I mean, no disrespect, but the sister looks like 35. So, like, you grown. You know what I'm saying? Like, you grown. 5 years of dating, first off, first problem. He don't want to post you. If he a public figure, and I can speak as one, I get it, because posting as a public figure come with a lot more scrutiny and all that kind of stuff people don't sign up for. But if that man posting everything else in his life and he ain't posting you, 2, 3, how did he get your house key? Is he living with you? I want to speak as your big bro. Is it like I'm your big brother? If you're watching this, sister, I Sweat CEO, I don't know if that's the original post. 5 years dating. Won't post you. This been 5 years he won't post you, right? Unless he's a public figure. I don't understand. He got your house key. Is that what you said? Let me just play this one. He got your house key?
Somebody for 5 years told me they couldn't post me because they didn't have enough money.
That didn't even make no sense. I can't post you, I ain't got enough money. What does that even mean?
Even though I know that's not true, you just don't find me attractive.
And she's not unattractive. Let me also say that. She's not, if you're watching this, you're not unattractive. First, we all ugly to somebody, but please don't buy into that. Don't let that be any part of what has hurt you. Because if he don't think that 5 years of him sleeping with you and everything else couples do, and he don't think you're attractive.
The society, cool. But 5 years, I asked them to call off work, and they would not call off work. They picked up shifts. Not only that, I've not seen this person in 2 days. And they took my house key.
Took your house key. Haven't seen them in 2 days. Took your house key. I'm trying to put it together because it's like a lot going on. Does he stay with you? Like, does he? Why would he take your house key, but you haven't seen him in 2 days?
And also, when I look on their page, they're posting pictures of girls. And like they're single, but.
So posting pictures of girls like they're single, but can't post you because he feels like you're not pretty enough to society. Is this the first conversation that you've had? Is this the first time you have brought any of these issues up? I got so many questions.
I'm washing your clothes out on hand.
So wait, he got your house key, you washing his clothes out. So you're at his, I don't care what it is. Let me say this. I don't care what it is. I hate that it has come to this, but if you spent 5 years getting to this point, don't spend another 5 minutes getting to the next one. I don't know his side of the story, but I'm going to just take you at your word and give you benefit of the doubt. This man ain't about to do nothing but continue to waste your time and ruin your life. That's my thoughts on it. There is no rating to give this particular video. Y'all just tell me what you think. I think that man is playing up, like somebody else said it. He's playing in her face. Yeah. 5 years, 5 years. In year 1, I kind of understand. Maybe he don't want to post you, but year 2, year 3, he's not a public figure. What are we talking about? He's hiding you. And I hate that she came with so much emotion. I get it. Things can be really tough. Washing clothes by hand. It's a lot, Dilla. There's a lot going on here. Washing his clothes by hand. So as he's telling you, he don't think you cute. As you see in the post of him and other girls, as your house key is not in your possession because it's in his, and you haven't seen him in 2 days, you washing his clothes by hands instead of putting them in a fire? All right, let me stop.
I have never been hit in a relationship, and I'm going to tell you my secrets today, how to never get hit in a relationship. I remember there was one or two men that I kind of gave a side eye to. I felt like they was kind of hitty. They was kind of beady. Okay.
Hold on. She started out saying, hold on, let me just start this over because I think she said how to spot a red flag. Let me go back to full. How to spot red flags. Yup. All right. Let's start this over because I don't know if y'all caught it. I'm sitting there still thinking about the last video. Let's start this over. How to spot red flags.
I have never been hit in a relationship, and I'm going to tell you my secrets today, how to never get hit in a relationship. I remember there was one or two men that I kind of gave a side eye to. I felt like they was kind of hitty. They was kind of beady. Okay. Now, this first guy, we were dating, and we were sitting on a couch one time. We was watching a movie, and this man saw a woman do something on the movie to her man, right? Something negative. And he looked at me and he said, if you ever did that, I'd slap the ish out of you.
Well, that'll do it. Let's see how she handled it. But yeah, Yeah, I don't even know. Is that just a red flag? That's not like a blaring like stop sign. That's not like a huge like do not like a roadblock. That ain't just red flags no more. Like, what are we talking about? He pre-threatened you. Yeah, it's a red flag. Keep going. Exactly. Exactly.
He never saw me again after that day. She vanished into the wind, number blocked. He never knew where she went. It was like she disappeared in thin air. To this day, only the smell of her remains. For she heard what he said, and she believed him the first time. Found out years later that he does hit women, and he's beat every woman that he's been with.
Surprise, surprise.
I believe people. Okay? Number 2, I was dating a man, and he was cool at first, but then he started tripping over little stuff, and he started raising the octave way too loud. The octave was being raised way too loud. I'd be like, hey, calm down, you a little too loud. He's like, you can't tell me how to react to stuff. You can't. She disappeared. She vanished in thin air. She was no longer available for fraternizing, for communication.
Yeah, I think we got the gist. Ready said, I feel like this is victim blaming. I don't know which video you referred to. If you're talking about the last one, you're talking about this one. If you're talking about this one, I'm not for victim blaming. I'm for victim preventing. Okay. What that means is there are situations where, as a victim, there's nothing that could forewarn you. There's no premonition. There's nothing. Some people are really great actors. Totally understand. But there's a reason why we lock our doors at night. I don't know if you do actually, but there's a reason why when you walking away from your car, you beep beep, because you know what? Not in an ideal world. You live in what? The real world. You don't live in a world of what should be. You live in a world of what is. This is why we lock our doors at night. Otherwise, leave your door open because, hey, it's not your fault as the victim if somebody walks in your house and they had no permission, right? No, let's try. I know it's a crazy concept. Just try to victim prevent. With obvious signals are sent towards you, just take heed. That's it. I don't want to victim blame. I want to victim prevent. When I think of my daughters and stuff like that, I understand. They're going to grow up one day. They're going to be in situations. Hell, they may be in situations these days, God forbid. But they're going to be in situations where there's nothing they could do to stop somebody else with bad intentions. That's just life. There's no victim blaming there. But if my daughter can avoid being out as a teenager, she's not a teenager yet, but as a preteen, et cetera, past a certain hour by herself, I'm going to say avoid being out past a certain hour by yourself, because we want to victim prevent to the best of our ability. If my daughter is in the midst of any dude that's talking aggressive, trying to be touchy-feely, hey, call your daddy, because we want to victim prevent. I don't want to victim blame. That mean the victim already made. We want to prevent any kind of victimization if possible. Now, if it happens, after the fact, at that point, there's no blaming that's going to help anybody. There's no blaming. There's 100% accountability to the person that did wrong. Don't matter what preceded it. He's wrong. But to the best of our ability, we want to victim prevent. I done been in situations as a man. There was once a girl, this is back in college. There was once a girl, we kicking it. She talks to me about some of the things she's been through. She grew up in a violent situation. She's been around violent guys, and she has a gun on her nightstand table. Now, I'm a new guy in this situation. Totally makes sense. But for me, without me knowing just how emotionally stable she was, without me knowing just how healed from all of the violent interactions that she's had, and me also knowing I am a man, this is a woman. So if any kind of anything happens, nobody's gonna look at her probably and say she probably was the aggressor. I made my exit the same way. She's telling me little things. I'm gonna go ahead and try to victim prevent. I don't want to victim blame or be victim. I don't give a damn. Victim blaming meaning we doing this after the fact of being a victim. Let's do what we can to keep that from being a situation. That's all. I like what she said. She faced the reality of her situation, and that is where you're not being a participant in your own victimization. Precisely. Let's try to like take heed and appreciate the warnings we do get, because everybody don't get them. What do y'all think though? Do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? Y'all let me know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? I don't. It don't do me no good after the fact to be talking about who's victim blaming and who's not, because once the victim has been created, it already went left. So if we get blessed with red flags, shall we all be so grateful that we take heed and we don't ignore them? So shout out to this sister. What do y'all think though? Do y'all agree? Do y'all disagree? I think it's interesting. But let's move on.
Let me go to Rocky. Rocky, what's your ideal type in a woman?
Subjugated.
Hold on, wait. He came in hot. All right. Oh my gosh. He said real men want a subjugated woman. All right. So for context, let me give y'all a little context. This is a clip. I do remember this one from a dating show. It's kind of like Pop the Balloon, but for like, I guess, older people, for older couples. But it's a spinoff of Pop the Balloon. Everybody kind of got their little spinoff. And so it seems like this is a one-on-one where he's talking to a guy who's on the show. I do remember this gentleman being a piece of work, but let's go ahead and get into it.
Let me go to Rocky. Rocky, what's your ideal type in a woman?
Subjugated. Mute. Knows her role. Non-engaging. Non-challenging. And can still earn a few bucks. This.
Hold on. Hold on. Wait. I do remember this. I was coming back to me. This dude ain't got no job. Oh man, it would take too many clips to try to piece together who this is. So put in the context, he's on the dating show. He don't have a job. He's got a drinking problem. He's been in prison for a very long time. He got kids, and he don't claim all of them, even though he knows that he has them. He doesn't actually claim them like being their lives. Basically, it's basically like kids, schmids. That's who we're dealing with here. I just want to make this clear before we go any further in this already really chaotic clip. But let's keep going.
This clown over here talks about this woman.
Refrain from name calling, but yeah.
Okay. I'm saying what real men want. Subjugated, quiet, know your role, know your position. Don't talk to me unless I inquire. That's pretty much it.
What do you want, like a woman from the mental ward or something?
I thought he was talking to me, man.
You should be quiet.
I'm sorry, Mr.
No, I mean it's okay. It's okay for you to ask, but not in like a demeaning way or anything.
No, I think he should be quiet because everything he said is garbage.
Well, I would like clarification. So if you want your woman to be that way, what way are you going to be, Rocky? How are you going to? Because you do want a woman, right? So how are you going to serve her?
Okay, but how don't you get what I just said? What is your name? Pointer.
Yeah.
You don't get what I said. I said subjugator. So if somebody's subjugated, someone has to do the subjugating.
So you're going to be the one doing the talking.
Absolutely. If I need someone to shut up, then my role is to talk. I don't know how.
All right. So I'm going to try not to body shame. I'm going to try. First off, I said I'm going to try. I don't know if I'm going to pass this test or not, because I'm led to body shame and to really bash, but I want to be a better man. So we gonna just pass up on the body shaming, because the audacity to talk like that, and you pick a struggle. Y'all haven't seen the clips I've seen. I'm reminded of all the ways this man is completely out of his mind. He looks. Let me just go ahead and move on, because I want to go to heaven, and I don't know that the things coming to my mind are going to, like, you know what I'm saying, put me in a bad spot. I done did enough sinning in my life. I done repented. I'm trying to be a better man. The last thing I need to do is backslide to tell what I really think about what this guy just said and who he is. This clip gets a 0 out of 10. But I will say this. Ain't no he speaks for all men, real men. I don't know who be elected these dudes talking about they speak for real men. I just say what I say, this is what I believe. But don't say that. If you're going to say something about real men, let it come from some kind of place of integrity or something. Don't come over talking about you want a slave. Don't come over here like, what are you talking about? And the funny thing was, he said he wants a woman that can earn a few bucks. He don't earn a few bucks. Y'all understand this. He's unemployed. No, like, I'm not like mad at him. In another clip, he's unemployed. He has a drinking problem. He has health problems. Not even the ones that we can obviously see. He has health problems. According to his own, he has health problems. And he clearly got mental problems. Dude, hey man, I recommend church, brother, because you got some you got some other stuff going on. All right. Let's keep it moving, man.
6 weeks and 3 days pregnant.
Hold on. She coming in hot. Let's start it over. Whew. She said, the most terrified and alone I have ever felt. We're just on an emotional roller coaster today, but let's keep going. Jesus Christ.
I'm 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant, and my child's father, all within a day of finding out that I was pregnant, that I may have an ectopic pregnancy, going to the emergency rooms, spending hours and hours and hours getting poked and prodded to find out that my baby's okay and in my uterus where they should be, and my hormone levels are where they should be. So, and within a day of finding all that out, the father of my child said he doesn't want this. He doesn't think this is a good idea, and he wants me to not keep the baby. Let me be very clear that my child's father was very aware of what was going on. This wasn't like nobody was trapped. He repeated over and over and over again how bad he wanted us to have a baby, how bad he wanted me to have a baby, how bad he wanted me to get pregnant. And then I get pregnant, and he's like, no. And today he told me, well, listen, you have to get rid of the baby because actually I'm married. When we got to...
Hold on. What? What? What?
Together, thought we were getting divorced. I had requested a divorce. Things was done, I thought, but that didn't happen. And now I'm trying to work my marriage out. So you cannot have my baby. So now here we are. And I'm trying to keep my stress levels down because one of the reasons they thought it was, or wanted to rule out it being ectopic pregnancy, was because I was bleeding and still having a little bleeding issues. You know, I'm trying to stay calm, keep the stress down so I don't harm my baby, but I'm just struggling because I'm trying to figure out why I needed this. Why I needed to be trying to ask God, like, why I needed to be bent and broken and snapped in this way. I was minding my business, y'all. That man was persistent to even get a chance with me. And we were damn near living together. And then to say, you're... And now My poor baby. Poor baby. I didn't want this life for my baby. And you know what? I'm 41. I don't have any children. This is my first child. I didn't ever even think I wanted any. So I certainly wasn't trying to like. But now it's here.
Hey.
Just married the whole time. Intentionally got me pregnant. And once I got pregnant, told me I don't want nothing to do with this.
Well, that's a lot. I ain't gonna hold you. So what DJ Enzi, you said exactly what I was thinking. There's so many questions. First off, how long was the relationship? Only reason I'm saying that, I don't want to shame, because guess what? I got to pass. We all have made some decisions. But I'm gonna call a spade a spade. I'm gonna call a spade a spade. How do you not know? I'm always curious about that. I can understand if you done been all up and through this man's house, you done met his mama. I can understand if, you know what I mean? Like, I understand if you did all the things and then he had a whole situation. But I don't understand. I understand him having a side chick. I don't understand when you're the side chick to a married man unknowingly. I don't understand that. I've been married before, and you share a house. You got a lot going on, right? If you think you're the main person, there's probably a lot of boundaries on you that shouldn't be there. If you're not, there's a lot of signs. There's a lot of things you can't do. And it's like, why would you allow a man to be potentially impregnating you? Like, no condoms, no nothing. Like, he's begging to, okay, it sounds like you were in agreement with getting pregnant by this man with all of these things you can't do. So I'm not trying to shame her. This doesn't sound like anything she deserved. I just got questions. I'm gonna give this a 3 out of 10. I got questions. I really hope for the sake of the child they can just come to some kind of something. But hey, let me say this, and I'm just gonna keep it all the way real. I say blow his spot up. Sometimes that's the only way we as men learn and have nothing else to hide behind and can actually make the moves in life we're supposed to make, is if we no longer live in some BS lie. Blow the spot up. And I'm not saying this for or against him, but I'm thinking a child that you're going to have, don't get to protecting that man. He done brought a child into the situation. Now, I ain't never did nothing like that, but he done brought a child into the situation. Blow the spot up. Blow the spot up. I'm sure the wife will appreciate that you made it clear what she's dealing with. Even if she don't leave him, at least she know. But why are you over here isolated in this event? You weren't isolated in creating that child. You weren't isolated in creating that child. And therefore, I say blow the spot up. If you were my sister, I would tell you to blow the spot up. He wanted to keep you a secret, kill the baby because he just had a change of heart about his ex. That's too dang on bad. Should have thought about that before he went up in you. Let's move on.
Powerful. So men then pick, and powerful men alpha.
Hold on. Let's back up. Let's see. The title of this is Some Men Don't Want a Partner, They Want Power. Okay. Let's see what these lovely people have to say about this.
Powerful. So men then pick, and powerful men, alpha men specifically, pick women that they can afford.
That they can control.
Okay, so not that they can afford, but that their finances allow them to control.
Yes. Because you can't go too high because, all right, I can afford, I may not be able to afford somebody that's used to the finer things. I take the young lady, the 25-year-old that's like trying to get herself together. You take them to, I don't know, Capitol Grill, they're impressed. You take somebody else at a higher level, you got to take them every couple of days. You're like, it's exhausting. I don't know if I've got the finances for it, but I'm just giving my older perspective. And as we start talking about it, I want to go after someone that I would have a little more control over, I believe. If I'm being honest.
We only halfway through, but so far, I don't know about that. It's something though. I get what he's saying, but I'm getting that it's wrong. Like I get it, but I'm getting that it's bad. Something about it just sounds not authentic, because I understand everything ain't all peachy and squeaky clean and crisp, but something about it sounds very broken masculine.
Do you find that to be a common choice?
Well, I don't know how people operate their lives, but I would imagine
In
yes.
conversations.
Yeah, I'd imagine, yes. Men
Wow.
want a little control.
Really think they want the control?
100%.
I know they.
All right. Let me try to hear out, because he's doubling down on men want control and we want the woman we can afford to control. That's what I'm getting from it. We want the woman that we have enough money to control. I definitely don't agree with that, but let's see how he brings it home.
They do.
And let me know what you guys think down in the comments.
100%.
I know they do.
And I mean, over your life, you'll think about you would probably say that over your lifespan, there wasn't a whole lot of men that would even really approach that you may have a perceived higher status than. It's like, yes, it's an insecurity a little bit. That's why you may be able to go to the grocery store with a bonnet on and be looking raggedy. Then men's like, yo, what's up, ma? Because it looks like you're not as powerful as you are. But when you all done up, and I've heard women say this all the time, when you're all done up, it's like, yo, I'll never get approached. You look uncontrollable. You look too high of a status. I don't know. Again, this isn't. I'm just giving you my.
Uncontrollable is crazy.
It is crazy. All right. Now that I've heard him out completely, I can definitively say I don't agree. I'm gonna let him have his thoughts though, because everybody different. And I'm thinking at my most toxic. Okay, I've done some work. I'm 36, my 20s. I thought I had it all figured out, but I was still toxic in some ways. I may got work to do now, but I'm not what I was. But I can tap into toxic me, and I can definitively say, no, what you want as a man, and let me just say me. I can't speak for him or other men. You want appreciation. You want respect. We talked about this earlier. So it's more so, what is the price of your respect? What is the price of your respect? Because I've seen women, I'm talking about $50 million business having women whose man don't work at all, and they literally love his dirty draws. He is the king of the house. They're in a traditional situation outside of the who's making the money. They're in a tradition. He get the big seat at the table. He is the man. She is the woman. There are gender roles in there. They have no separation, or they do have separation rather, as opposed to like, oh, we have no separation of genders and things like no. So I don't believe it's about having control, but it's like that type of woman, the price for her respect ain't even financial. The price for her admiration ain't financial. Therefore, the man that she's dealing with is happy. He's secure. I do agree with what he said. It's a matter of insecurity. So what a man is looking for is a place where he's secure. And in so many times we feel like it's our money that makes us secure, when really it's what the woman values that really makes the situation secure for us. Even if we are secure within ourselves, it's like, what does she value? So when you get women who have a value on Dubai trips every month, and $20,000 a month upkeep, and a new G-Wagon because it's Tuesday, and if that's the price of her admiration, her respect, then that's what's too high. It's not so much about controlling. It's like, all right, can I deliver what it is you respect? Because whatever it is you respect, you're probably going to honor, submit to, be loyal to, love fully. So I want to know, what is the price financially and otherwise of said respect, and do I have it? Let's say I'll make $100,000 a year, right? This woman could have everything or nothing, but if she only can date a man who's making $1 million a year, I don't have what it takes to garner her respect and admiration. I'm a great father. I'm physically in a good place. I'm physically in shape. All these good things. I'm mentally stimulating, but I don't have what she values. Therefore, there's no security in a relationship with that woman. So it's not so much about I need to control. I think the broken masculine finds security in control. I believe the healthier masculine finds security in a woman's respect. What is it that you as a woman respect? It's kind of like y'all as women, you can't control that a man is horny, right? You got your butt, you got your digits, you look good, whatever. But if that's all that man is addicted to, if that's all he gets excited about, you can be a beautiful woman. And he could be, I'm talking about a 2 out of 10 on every level. And you still won't be enough. You still won't be enough. Not because you're actually not enough or that you want to control him. You don't have what he values. Does that make sense to anybody? Does that make sense? Let me know. Does that make sense to anybody? Finding a woman in his price range. I agree, but if the price range is strictly financial, that's a problem. That's a problem. So respectfully, I disagree because he's got his thoughts, he's got his viewpoint, and that's cool. We all got, how we see things. But I know of men who've had tremendous amount of money and they fully impress the girl that they are courting, but then they find out that girl only wants their money. And that's what earns her respect and admiration. They got the money. They got the money to quote unquote control her, according to what he's saying. And guess what? When they find out that's what she values about them, they say, no, I'm good. Move along. Move along. What you value matters more than how much money I got. I got more money than I've had in a very, long time. But if my woman strictly valued that, I don't care if I can control her. I don't care if I can create a life to where she needs me. If that's what it's based on, I'm good. I got the money. I may have the ability to control, but that's not what I'm here for. And based on what you respect and admire, I can tell whether or not we're compatible. So with what he's saying, respectfully, I disagree, but I also can see validity in how it applies to a lot of guys who find security in that control. But that brings me back to the problem we talked about earlier. What happens if that money ain't right? What happens if you lose that job, young fella who needs control? What happens? I'm going to tell you what happens. You unravel. And any woman that's been with a man who measured himself by his money and saw what happened to that man when he lost money, you already know the version of that man that you got, how critical he got, how negative he got, how unavailable he got, disrespectful he got, all because he ain't had no money. That was a man who didn't have any value that he saw in himself outside of his money. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and get up out of here. I appreciate y'all rocking with your boy. And let me know down in the comments, what would you guys like to do this again? Because I had fun. I had a blast. It's the end of the day. Y'all see I'm in here sweat. It's the end of the day, but I had a blast reacting to some of the viral videos and all that good stuff. So if you see some, go ahead and DM to me at Derrick Jaxn, Instagram, Facebook. Probably Instagram's better. TikTok. But did y'all have fun? Because I did. Let me know down in the comments what your thoughts were tonight's conversation.